are worthy to be praised, my Lord. All sufficient God, you are worthy to be praised, my Lord. All sufficient God, you are worthy to be praised, my Lord.
Hello, my name is Pastor Hannah Abrahams-Appiah, and I'm excited to be coming your way once again with our new episode, The Pastor's Wife. If you have been following our episodes, we are learning about how pastors' wives could improve and make the work God has privileged them to do more exciting, to be more passionate, more informed, and more fulfilling. I would encourage you to subscribe to the channel, press the notification bell, and then watch the videos, share the videos, leave a comment, and ask your questions. We will get back to you. Thank you for being part of this, and I'm excited once again for this new series. Well, today we are going to be answering some questions that pastors' wives have as a concern. And over the years, you get a lot of pastors' wives worried about a particular question. In the next few episodes, we'll be talking about various questions that pastors' wives wish they could have answers for. And one of the questions we are looking at today is the question of, my husband says I should not work. My husband says I should not work. When you hear that question as a counselor, you have a number of questions that you want to ask the person who is concerned about this question. And it starts like this. First and foremost, why does your husband not want you to work? And why are you worried about your husband not wanting you to work? For many people, the loss of agency, the fact that they will not be able to do anything for themselves other than what they were told to do, becomes an immediate source of concern. Now, the pastor doesn't want his wife to work. He has his reasons, and what are they? Can we try to look at some of the reasons and think through together? In case you are watching this video, you have any question, please put them in the comment section. We will get back to you, and we would love your feedback on this. So like we were saying, my husband doesn't want me to work. One of the reasons why some of the pastors don't want their wives to work is, one, because of their schedules, they get so busy. They may not have enough time to be at home with the children. They may not have enough time to run the home, and they don't want their children to grow with absent parents, both parents very busy. So as a matter of concern for the future of their children and home running, a lot of them come up with, can you stay at home, be a stay-home mom so that I could go working? Number two, it could also be because of selfish reasons. They just don't want their wives to be out there busy. I know a pastor who actually stopped his wife from working because she thought she was too pretty and people will be looking at her. These are selfish reasons. There could also be other reasons that may not expressly be explained. Maybe the pastor has the financial resources that could take care of the home, for which reason he feels that the wife being absent and her presence is needed more at home. Well, we can say this. First and foremost, it is important that whenever there is a concern from one party, it is thoroughly thought of. I would suggest or recommend from experience that in such a situation, both parties need to sit down and have a conversation and find out from your husband or your spouse why he doesn't want you to work. Number two, find out how it's going to affect you, the wife, by not working. The roles at home. Is it possible that somebody can take up that roles at home, especially when it has to do with home care, cleaning, cooking? Parenting cannot be duplicated, but it can be assisted. There are people who work and have very responsible people assisting them. Now, one of the challenges of pastors' wives who don't work is, in case the pastor you are married to is not financially stable, doesn't have enough income, it creates financial stresses for the families. So there are many couples who may be struggling financially. Yes, they believe God to supply their needs, and God does in his own way and in different ways. But a lot of people find themselves so limited, whereas they could have been a little more comfortable if both parties had agreed and found a way to generate an income. Another reason that could also affect the home is the loss of agency for the wife. She does not have the free will or capacity to fulfill her goals, her outcomes. She feels unfulfilled because, yes, after doing all the work, taking care of the children, they go to school, she may not have much. She may even be busy at home with enough housework. Everybody who knows the role of a housewife knows that a lot goes into being a housewife. It takes so much of your time and energy. But that loss of agency can create further stresses and build up. Now, the disadvantages of this is there's a tricky side to it. We have pastors who over the years, something happened along the line. One, they lost their job. Two, they lost their life, either to sickness, incurable disease. I know a pastor who got stroke for well over 15 years. So he's no longer working. How do they generate an income? And then there are some who, unfortunately, in the course of their ministry life, their lives were ended before the expected years. So suddenly the wife who was not working is left stranded with children, with no alternative income source, no alternative support system. And so when you are making such decisions, it must be thoroughly thought through, it must be carefully made, and it must be made in the interest of the marriage relationship, the ministry, the children, and your future. Never take decisions just spontaneously because one party wants it or not. Advantages of making your wife work is, well, she becomes a support system financially. Two, she gets to be fulfilled, she gets to develop her career, she gets to impact society. What can be done for such a case is you can have a meeting to be sure that whichever work she is engaging in does not have negative effects on the work, on your family. And so you would find out that before, there were people who would opt for roles like nursing, like teachers, where they finish their schedules early enough to come home. Others are entrepreneurs or private business people. I knew a lot of pastors whose wives were bakers because they could stay at home and they could be baking for the community. They could have extra food, extra income, but they were also present. Not every pastor's wife may be able to be enterprising or have the entrepreneurial skills. So you cannot say every pastor's wife should do a business. Some may be able to give out services. Some are in the corporate world. That's where they do well. But a combined, informed decision, the welfare of each other being considered, the ministry being thought of, the children being considered, future being considered, makes the decision a joint decision so that one party doesn't feel taken for granted. Whenever these things come, I would advise and encourage that go to God in prayer and talk to him about it. No matter how complicated it may seem, God has his own way of answering our prayers. And tell him, you want to work, your husband doesn't want you to work. And then God will in his own way touch the heart of your husband, and you will come to a compromise that will be beneficial for you, for the ministry, for the children, for your future. Ultimately, God loves us so much and wants the best for us. I don't think that we should allow certain situations to limit us. We want to serve God in our role as pastors' wives, but the limitations should not hinder us from functioning effectively. I believe today's session of answering the question has been helpful. In case you have further questions, put them in your comment section. Anything I may have not added, I would be glad to know more about it from your own perspective in the comment section. Like the video, share the video, and tell people to subscribe to this channel, Hannah Abrahams-Appiah. Thank you for joining me once again. I am grateful you were here, and God bless you.